Howdy folks, it's the Creepy Kentuckian here with you from DEADPIT.com. Today we have a really fun box set to take a look at for you guys that recently came out from our good friends over at Arrow Video. This box set I think is one of the best buys of the entire year, and over the course of this video I'm going to tell you why. This one kind of hits home with me, guys, because I did grow up in that video store era of the 80s, early 90s. Very different scene than it is now. And Charles Band was a pioneer in the video industry, the early to mid 80s, throughout the late 80s. He played a huge part with Empire Pictures. And our good friends at Arrow Video have picked 5 features from that classic era and included it in this box set. Enter the video store, Empire of Screams. So with this set, Arrow is going to bring us back to the 1980s, to the video store, if you will. I'm going to briefly go over the movies, and then we're going to take a look at the box set itself, what all's included, and what you can expect in Empire of Screams. I'm going to go chronologically with these movies. The first one up from 1984, Dungeon Master, aka Rage War, directed by 7 different filmmakers. There's 7 different sequences in this. The movie stars Jeffrey Byron. He plays Paul Bradford, who's kind of a nerdy computer programmer with loads of 1980s technology, and he has been picked as a worthy opponent for the evil wizard Mestima, who's played by none other than Richard Mall. So now, much like a video game, he is going through different levels, different sequences, if you will. One particular sequence with one of my favorite 80s heavy metal bands, Wasp. I mean, if you have Wasp in a segment, it really doesn't get much better than that. Next up, 1987, Cellar Dweller, directed by John Carl Buechler. It is about a comic book artist, Colin, who is played by Jeffrey Combs, who unleashes a demon after drawing it. And many years later, his house has become an art institute run by Mrs. Biggs, played by the legendary Yvonne DiCarlo, and young art student Whitney, played by Deborah Ferrantino, is looking through sealed boxes in the cellar and, well, unleashes the Dweller. Next one up is probably my favorite in the entire set, Dolls from 1987, directed by Stuart Gordon. The movie follows a family that's stranded during a rainstorm and comes across a seemingly deserted house, but they are eventually greeted by a spooky old couple, Gabriel and Hillary Hardwick. Gabriel is a doll maker, but it's not your normal doll. 3 more people randomly show up stranded at the house, and the dolls come to life and attack in violent and sadistic ways. Next up, we have Arena from 1989, directed by Peter Manoogian. This one stars Paul Satterfield playing Steve Armstrong. He becomes the first human in half of a century to be a success in the Arena, which is an intergalactic fighting tournament dominated by aliens. And the last one up, also directed by Stuart Gordon, Robot Jocks from 1990. Gary Graham plays Achilles, one of the jocks who pilot these giant robots that fight battles. This is another one that's set in the future, post-World War III, and the remaining of all mankind participate in these global battles. We have a nice variety here in this set, a good chunk of what made Empire Pictures what it was. Now, a lot of these movies are not really my thing. I'm more into the horror aspect of it. Dolls was one of those movies that was out of print for a long time that I couldn't get my paws on. All of these movies, aside from Arena, had prior releases, but each of these releases are a brand new 2K restoration, and let me tell you, they all look fantastic. The movie Arena from 1989, oddly enough, the original source material for Arena couldn't be found, They used some of the best possible 35mm material and scanned it as best they could. And this movie looks as good as it's ever looked before. Had a very poor DVD release many years ago. This one is plumb chock full of extras, tons of stuff, so much stuff that I really can't go over it in detail. So I'm going to flash them up here on the screen and show you guys. But this limited edition box set is one that you'll definitely want to pick up. The price point on this thing, if you go to deepdiscount.com, it's $58.99. And just a year ago, had you wanted Dolls on Blu-ray, that movie alone would cost you at least double that amount. So this is a hell of a deal, guys. This is a 5-disc set, high-definition Blu-ray presentations of all 5 films. Limited edition packaging featuring newly commissioned artwork by Laura Greasley. Reversible sleeves for each movie featuring the original, along with newly commissioned artwork from Elin Sheedy. Double-sided posters for each of the films in the set, featuring the original artwork and newly commissioned artwork as well. 15 postcard size reproduction art cards. There's an Arrow Video Store membership card. An 80-page perfect bound book featuring new writings on the films from Lee Gambin, Dave J., Megan Navarro, and John Harrison, plus select archival material. So guys, this is a hell of a set. If you're a fan of Empire Pictures, odds are you've already picked this up. This is a very high recommendation for me, and I'm not even a big Empire Pictures Full Moon Charles Band guy. I'm really not. But this is a no-brainer for the price of this thing. Gorgeous box set. Tons of bonuses thrown in, guys, including those posters, reversible cover arts, art cards. This is a no-brainer. So this one's out this week. You'll definitely want to pick it up. Check it out, and be sure to check us out. We're over at DEADPIT.com. Give us the thumbs up.
Up your butt.
Like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
don't.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to touch nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last South on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're going to love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. Dead Pit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.